So I think we can agree that the new Mustang Mach-E is not a true Mustang. It's got 4 doors for starters, there's no V8, it's pretty much an SUV. But what about as a sports car, as a driver's car? Well, let's see. This thing is a load of fun in the corners, which is not usually something that can be said of a regular Mustang. It's 4-wheel drive. This is the top spec GT version with 434 kilowatts. It's a nice bump up from the predecessor, and you've got over 500 kilometers official range. It is quite expensive, just under $100,000, which is more than an equivalent GT Mustang V8, but you are getting, 2 extra doors, easier access to the rear seats, more rear seat leg room, and you've got a front and rear boot. Is it as quick as a normal Mustang GT? Well, I did some tests earlier on out on the private road, and this example was not able to get anywhere near the overseas 0 to 100 claim of around 3.6, 3.7 seconds. I tested it with 80% battery. You could argue, well, you didn't have it at 100%. Well, if there's a massive difference between 100% and 80%, I think there's more serious problems going on. At 80%, it should be able to get quite close to an official claim. It's still very quick, just not as quick as some of the claims, and not as quick as some V8 GT Mustangs. But I think the best approach here is to just ignore that galloping horse. This is not a Mustang. This is just a sports sedan or sports crossover that's very quick, nice and practical inside, and yeah, it offers excellent handling. Like around this tight left-hand bend, that's full power, and it's just ripping me around that corner. You've got a bit of fake sound coming through, you can turn that off as well, propulsion sound. And then you've just got just a faint sort of whirring, whining sound of the electric motor. You can feel the back sort of kicking out a little bit. Awesome all-wheel drive distribution system. Like, it's not just a sort of front biased understeery type of setup. It actually wants to kick the back out a little bit in an enjoyable way. It's not a surprise. And yeah, extremely quick. It's definitely quicker and more capable than a standard Mustang GT on a road like this, because you can apply loads of power at the wrong time, and thanks to that all-wheel drive system, it just sorts it out. I've got the stability control completely turned off. So in untamed mode, I'll just slow down and show you for a second. So you've got Whisper, Active, and Untame. Then you've got Untame Plus, which backs off the stability control, but then you can hold down the button down here and turn it off completely. I don't think it's fully off. Like, if you get a slide going, it'll maintain a slide for a fair bit, but then it will kind of just pull it in and just align you right near the end. Like, it won't let you, well, I can't anyway. It's just smoke the tires freely. It will sort of slow things down a little bit, but awesomely, it's not abrupt. Like, it just lets you do what you want to do, but without going absolutely ridiculous. I mean, this has well over 900 Newton meters of torque, so it has the ability to completely fry the tires. That's more torque than any V8 Mustang currently on sale. So yeah, you've definitely got lots of capability there. I mean, it is 4-wheel drive, but it's lots of fun. It's actually fun to drive. I think I prefer it with the sound mode on, actually, just to give me a sort of reference point. When I'm, backing off the accelerator and putting it back on again, I've just got some sort of sound. Yeah, awesome through here. Good suspension as well. This has got the MagneRide suspension, so it's adaptive and just soaking up the bumps. Even though this does weigh 2.3 tons, it's managing the G-forces and lateral forces quite well, not upsetting the balance of the vehicle, and it's giving me good feedback. I know exactly what those wheels and tires are doing. So it lets you have a little bit of a slide, a little bit of a play, and just tuck in that front end. Hardly any understeer, actually. Even under power, it's just poking in nicely. Along here we've got a lot of bumps, you probably can't see them on camera. Usually it causes vehicles to really buck and seesaw around, but this is just soaking up the bumps nicely, even at speed. Yeah, very good. I think the suspension setup is one of the standout features of this vehicle. And the handling. I mean, the steering is a little bit touchy if you've jumped out of something that's, you know, not really a sports car, but you do get used to it, and it just provides pin sharp response, and you can just, yeah, correct it straight away if you need to, or just dart into a corner very quickly. That's full power, letting me just pounce out of the corner. No hesitation, no wheel slip at all. Yeah, quite well sorted package. I just wish they didn't call it a Mustang Mach-E. Maybe just call it just a Mach-E. I have noticed that there's no actual Mustang text on the vehicle. It just has the galloping horse on the back, I mean on the front, sorry, and on the steering wheel, but no actual Mustang written, even though this is called officially a Ford Mustang Mach-E. All right, let's head off now and do the performance test and see how it goes. As I said, I had the battery at about 80% for the test. I couldn't get it right up to 100%. I don't think it would make a huge difference. It shouldn't make a huge difference, just that 20%. As I said, if there's a big difference in times with it at 100% versus 80%, then I think there's more serious problems going on. It shouldn't be like that. Anyway, let's see how it goes.